Mike from That Helpful Dad here on YouTube as well as on the blog. Today we're going to talk about Google Flights. I'm not sure if you're aware of Google Flights. I wanted to introduce you to this particular option in travel service as well as give you some tips about why you might want to use this over some of the other options as well too. So again, just so you know who I am, my name is Mike from thathelpfuldad.com. We've got a lot of tips like this on Google, Amazon, and just other kind of practical solutions to real life problems. So be sure to check out the blog. We're giving away from some free ebooks and such right now if you head over there. So check that out. Anyway, let's get over to Google Flights. If you don't know about it, you can just type in Google Flights to Google, and right here is the web address, google.com/flights. And it's similar to like an Expedia or a Kayak, but there are some features that I think are pretty cool, and I want to kind of point these out to you. And it could be an incentive for you to be able to use this. So we go on to Google Flights, and let's say, again, this is the home page. It's going to show you some popular destinations, fairly similar to, other travel websites as well too. Let's get into some of the cool features. Let's say I want to go Tampa to Philly. I'll just leave those dates the same. So it's a 4-day trip. Now, a lot of this is going to look pretty similar to other travel websites in terms of identifying the best price and what some other options are. And you've got various filters, whether or not you want to take, actually I'll talk about the bags in a moment, whether or not you want to take different stops, or if you want to, kind of look at different prices, times, airlines, things of that nature. But some of the features that I like about the Google one particularly are right here. So, a lot of airlines now are used to be able to at least do a carry-on and you wouldn't get charged for that. But now some of them are offering these economy flights where you don't even get a chance to have overhead bin access, or if you do, they charge you for it. So if that's the case, you can actually, and you want to know what those prices are. Now take a look and watch these prices here. Look how those prices just changed. So if I want to have overnight overhead bin access right here, some airlines will actually charge me for that option. Otherwise, I'll be in like this super economy class, and I don't necessarily want to be there. So if you want to know about that, and you don't want to get a surprise later when you go with your carry-on and an overhead carry-on as well too, and a personal item, then you're going to want to know what those prices are. So you could take a look at that. Other thing you can do is, this is pretty cool. You can very easily find out, if you're flexible on your dates, what are some of the better options in terms of just looking at the calendar right here. We can see cheaper options in green and then more expensive options in red. Another way to do that is you can look at the price graph. And I actually have used this and I have saved money. So if you're flexible on dates, you can scroll over here and see if I change, and it's keeping, let's say I'm going to do a 4-day trip. I'm going to keep that the same, but I'm flexible on my dates. The original one was going to cost me $244. If I can come over here, I could get that trip for $153. That's almost $100 savings, right? So if you have some flexibility, definitely go ahead and use the price graph. You can also take a look at alternate airports. So if you can fly in to, instead of flying into Philly, maybe you could fly into Newark, right? I don't know that I necessarily want to do that, but let's say you had some flexibility there, especially if you're going into New York and you're comparing JFK and LaGuardia. Those are some good options right there. And then, of course, it has, tips about travel guides and things like that. Now, what I also like about Google Flights is if you're a Google person, right, like myself, I use Google Calendar and all this other stuff, and Gmail and everything. When you book through Google Flights, it will automatically add it to your Google Calendar and keep track of it on your Gmail as well too. So it really, kind of is a little bit of a time saver there as well too. So just in terms of how additional benefits. So let's say you were going to proceed forward. You're going to take this flight right here. It tells you information about the flight in terms of whether the average leg room, which I think is kind of important. Let me take a look here and see. Here, let's look at Spirit. So the leg room on American was 31 inches. What is it on Spirit? 28 inches. Like, that's not very comfortable, right? So we probably wouldn't want to choose that. So let's say we're going to go with this American flight right here. And let's say we did want to make sure that we get access to the overhead compartment. And let's say we're going to take a return flight back right here. That sounds pretty good. We're going to select this. Ooh, often delayed by 30 plus minutes. Don't think I want that one. Let's see if we can check this one here. That one looks like it might get back on time. Still 31 inches. And then you can send this information, like other websites, you can send it to yourself or share it. You can go forward and you can then select the option and pay for it, etc. And we don't necessarily need to do that for the purposes of this video, but the point is, Google Flights, I've used it, I've booked through it, it's very helpful, and if you are looking for a service that makes it very convenient, you might want to check out this one right here. If you did want to know about what other services were available, it does actually link to Kayak and places like that. Let me just show you that real quick as well too. So again, let's just say we're going to go to Miami. And right here at the bottom, there's usually an ad where you can link to the other site. So let's say if we want to check out Expedia, I'll show you what's nice about this too. It automatically includes the Tampa to Miami option. So if you did want to compare versus, Expedia versus Google Flights, you certainly could do that. Again, hopefully the video is helpful for you. I got a lot of tips like this on thathelpfuldad.com. Check it out, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Thanks, guys. Bye.